The undeniable reality of death, our ultimate finitude, forms the bedrock of the human experience. It's a truth that, while universally shared, is often confronted with a mixture of fear, denial, and a profound, almost desperate, quest for meaning. This inherent awareness of mortality, this understanding that our time is limited, paradoxically fuels our drive to make our lives count, to find purpose in the face of inevitable oblivion. Existentialist philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus grappled extensively with this fundamental aspect of the human condition. Sartre, in his seminal work Being and Nothingness, argued that our existence precedes our essence. We are born into a world devoid of inherent meaning, and it is through our choices and actions that we create our own values and define ourselves. This freedom, however liberating, is simultaneously terrifying, burdened by the weight of total responsibility for our existence and the knowledge of our eventual demise. The anxiety born from this radical freedom, this awareness of our nothingness, is the essence of what many term existential angst. Camus, in The Myth of Sisyphus, explored the absurdity of human existence in the face of a meaningless universe. He depicted Sisyphus, condemned to eternally roll a boulder up a hill, only to have it tumble back down, as a metaphor for the futile struggle against death and the inherent lack of ultimate purpose. Yet, Camus argued that recognizing this absurdity, embracing the inherent meaninglessness, can be a source of liberation. It is in the defiant act of continuing to strive, even in the face of inevitable failure, that we find a kind of meaning, a rebellion against the void. The human response to mortality is not uniform. It's diverse and multifaceted, shaped by cultural, religious, and individual factors. Consider the diverse ways cultures approach death and dying. In many indigenous societies, death is not viewed as an end, but rather a transition, a passage into the spirit world. Elaborate rituals and ceremonies surround death, providing a framework for grieving, remembering, and celebrating the life of the deceased. These rituals serve not only to ease the pain of loss, but also to affirm the continuity of life and the interconnectedness of the living and the dead. Funerals in these cultures are often joyous affairs, marked by singing, dancing, and storytelling, celebrating the life lived and the legacy left behind. This starkly contrasts with the more clinical and often emotionally detached approach to death prevalent in many Western societies, where death is often medicalized and relegated to hospitals or funeral homes. While these processes offer practical benefits in terms of care and support, they may inadvertently deprive individuals and families of the opportunity for meaningful, ritual, and emotional processing. The fear of death, its inevitability, often manifests in various psychological defenses, such as denial, avoidance, or excessive preoccupation with mortality. The avoidance of contemplating our own mortality can lead to a life lived superficially, avoiding difficult decisions and avoiding introspection. This kind of avoidance, while seemingly protective in the short term, ultimately prevents us from engaging fully with life and living authentically. Conversely, an excessive preoccupation with death can lead to paralysis, preventing individuals from embracing opportunities for growth and fulfillment. A healthy approach lies in acknowledging our mortality, accepting its inevitability, and using this awareness as a catalyst for living a more meaningful life. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, offered a profound perspective on finding meaning in the face of extreme suffering. In his seminal work, Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl documented his experiences in Nazi concentration camps, illustrating how, even in the depths of despair and unimaginable horror, individuals could find purpose and meaning. He developed logotherapy, a form of psychotherapy that focuses on helping individuals discover their unique sense of meaning and purpose in life. Frankl's core assertion was that the primary motivational force in humans is not pleasure or the avoidance of pain, but rather the pursuit of meaning. Even in the most horrific circumstances, the human spirit retains its capacity to find meaning, to discover a reason for enduring and persisting. Frankl's work provides compelling evidence of the human capacity for resilience and the transformative power of meaning-making in the face of adversity. He argued that even in the absence of external sources of meaning, we have the capacity to create meaning from within. This can involve focusing on our values, our relationships, our contributions to others, or even finding meaning in suffering itself. Logotherapy emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for our lives, making choices that align with our values, and actively engaging in the pursuit of our personal meaning. Frankl's experiences show that the search for meaning is not merely a philosophical exercise. It's a vital component of human survival and well-being, offering a framework for enduring even the most extreme challenges. His case studies underscore the idea that meaning is not something passively discovered, but rather actively created, shaped by our choices, actions, and interactions with the world around us. The awareness of our mortality inherently touches upon another aspect of the human condition: existential anxiety. This anxiety stems not just from the fear of death itself, but also from the realization of our freedom, our responsibility for our choices, and the apparent lack of inherent meaning in the universe. We are free to choose our path, to create our own values, but this freedom carries the burden of responsibility for our actions and their consequences. This realization can be deeply unsettling, leading to feelings of uncertainty, disorientation, and anxiety. The manifestations of existential anxiety are diverse and range from mild feelings of unease and dissatisfaction to severe psychological distress, including depression, anxiety disorders, and even suicidal ideation. Understanding the nature of existential anxiety is crucial for navigating the complexities of life and finding a sense of purpose. It's important to acknowledge that existential anxiety is not a sign of weakness or pathology, but rather a natural response to the profound questions about our existence and our place in the universe. Addressing this anxiety requires engaging with these questions directly, exploring our values and beliefs, and actively creating meaning in our lives. This may involve examining our choices, taking responsibility for our actions, and seeking connection with others, thereby developing a sense of belonging within a larger context. In essence, confronting existential anxiety involves not avoiding the discomfort of the profound questions raised by the awareness of mortality, but instead using it as a springboard to live a more authentic, engaged, and meaningful life. Cultivating a sense of purpose is not a passive endeavor, but rather an active process that requires intentionality and effort. It involves exploring our values, identifying our strengths and passions, and setting goals that align with our sense of meaning. Goal setting, when approached thoughtfully, can provide a framework for achieving goals and contributing to something larger than oneself. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation or yoga, can foster self-awareness and help us to connect with our inner selves, clarifying our values and priorities. Engaging in activities that resonate with our values, whether it's volunteering, pursuing a creative hobby, or simply spending time in nature, can bring a sense of fulfillment and deepen our sense of purpose. These are not merely self-help strategies. They are pathways to engagement with life that help us to counteract the isolating effects of existential angst and establish a stronger connection to our lives and our humanity. The journey towards cultivating meaning is a deeply personal one, unique to each individual. What brings meaning to one person may not resonate with another, and that's perfectly acceptable. The crucial element is to engage in a process of self-discovery, to explore what truly matters to us, and to find ways to incorporate those values and passions into our daily lives. The stories of individuals who have successfully navigated existential crises, finding meaning and purpose amidst adversity, serve as powerful testaments to the human spirit's resilience and capacity for growth. These stories, while unique, offer a common thread: a relentless pursuit of meaning, a willingness to embrace challenges, and a profound commitment to living a life that resonates with their deepest values. Ultimately, confronting mortality and the quest for meaning are intertwined aspects of the human condition, driving our search for purpose and shaping our responses to the inevitability of our own demise. Our species, like all others, is fundamentally driven by a biological imperative: survival and reproduction. This primal drive, etched into our DNA, compels us to seek nourishment, shelter, and partners, ensuring the continuation of our genes. From an evolutionary perspective, our actions are often viewed through this lens: a struggle for resources, a competition for mates, a relentless pursuit of survival. This perspective, while undeniably accurate in explaining certain aspects of human behavior, falls short in fully capturing the richness and complexity of our existence. it fails to account for the uniquely human capacity to transcend these basic biological drives, to create meaning and purpose that extend far beyond the mere preservation of our physical selves. The limitations of a purely biological understanding of human motivation become readily apparent when we consider the vast diversity of human pursuits. While the need for food, water, and shelter is universal, our means of achieving these necessities are incredibly varied, shaped by cultural norms, individual preferences, and a range of psychological factors that go far beyond the simple dictates of survival. Consider the artist who meticulously crafts a painting, spending hours, even years, on a single piece, expending energy and resources that could be directed towards more immediate survival needs, or the scientist who dedicates their life to unraveling the mysteries of the universe, working tirelessly in pursuit of knowledge that may have no immediate practical application. These actions, and countless others like them, defy a simple biological interpretation. They suggest a profound human need to create meaning, to find purpose beyond the basic requirements for survival. The philosopher Erich Fromm explored this tension between biological imperatives and the uniquely human quest for meaning in his work. He argued that while our biological nature provides a foundation for our existence, it is our capacity for reason, self-awareness, and creativity that distinguishes us from other animals. It is these uniquely human traits that allow us to create our own values, to set our own goals, and to shape our own destinies. Fromm argued that this freedom, while liberating, also presents us with a profound challenge: the need to create meaning in a world that inherently lacks inherent purpose. We are not pre-programmed with a set of instructions. We are not merely biological machines. We are self-aware beings with the ability to choose our own paths. This existential freedom, while empowering, also brings a heavy burden: the responsibility for creating our own meaning. This creation of meaning often manifests through our relationships. The bonds we form with family, friends, and loved ones often serve as a profound source of meaning and fulfillment. The love, support, and companionship we receive from others help to counteract the inherent isolation of the human experience and provide a sense of belonging. These relationships are not simply biological necessities for reproduction. They are deeply personal and emotional connections that bring purpose and joy. The investment of time, energy, and emotional resources in maintaining and nurturing these relationships speaks to our fundamental need for connection and belonging, a need that transcends mere biological imperatives. Achievement, in its various forms, also plays a significant role in our quest for meaning. Whether it's mastering a new skill, completing a challenging project, or achieving a personal goal, the experience of accomplishment often brings a profound sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. This drive to achieve is not merely about acquiring resources or improving our survival prospects. It's about pushing our boundaries, expanding our capabilities, and demonstrating our competence. The sense of pride and self-esteem that comes from achieving our goals helps to shape our sense of self and contribute to a feeling of meaning and purpose. This drive can manifest in diverse ways, from athletic accomplishments to artistic creations, from scientific breakthroughs to entrepreneurial success. The common thread is the pursuit of excellence, the striving to achieve something significant, something meaningful. Furthermore, many find purpose through their contributions to society. Volunteering, philanthropy, activism, and community involvement are all examples of actions motivated by a desire to make a difference in the world, to leave a positive impact on others and future generations. These actions are not necessarily driven by direct biological benefits, yet they represent a fundamental aspect of the human experience: our capacity for empathy, altruism, and compassion. The sense of fulfillment that comes from helping others, from making a contribution to something larger than oneself, is a profound source of meaning for many. These acts often involve sacrificing personal comfort or resources for the benefit of others, demonstrating the capacity for self-transcendence that lies at the heart of the human spirit. The search for meaning is a deeply personal and ongoing process. There is no single, universally accepted answer to the question of what gives life purpose. What resonates with one individual may not resonate with another. This diversity in the pursuit of meaning reflects the unique experiences, values, and beliefs of individuals. While biology provides a fundamental framework, it is our capacity for creativity, self-reflection, and self-transcendence that allows us to construct our own individual paths to purpose and fulfillment. This process requires self-awareness, the exploration of our values and passions, and a willingness to engage in activities that align with our sense of meaning. The pursuit of meaning is not a destination, but a journey of self-discovery, a continuous process of growth and transformation. It is in this journey, in the ongoing effort to make sense of our lives and our place in the universe, that we find the truest expression of our humanity. The freedom to choose our path, the responsibility for creating our own meaning, is the ultimate challenge and the greatest reward of being human. The inherent fragility of human existence, the stark awareness of our mortality, can be a catalyst for profound introspection. While the biological imperative drives us towards survival and reproduction, the shadow of death casts a long reach, forcing us to confront the fundamental questions of our existence. What is the purpose of my life? What gives my existence meaning? Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and neurologist who survived the horrors of Auschwitz, offered a compelling answer through his creation of logotherapy, a school of psychotherapy that emphasizes the search for meaning as the primary motivation in human life. Frankl's experiences in the concentration camps profoundly shaped his understanding of the human spirit. Witnessing unspeakable suffering and witnessing the resilience and capacity for hope that even in the face of unimaginable horrors, he developed logotherapy as a response to the existential angst he observed. Unlike other psychotherapeutic approaches that focus on resolving past traumas or addressing current psychological issues, logotherapy centers on the future, on the individual's potential to find meaning and purpose in life, even amid profound suffering. It posits that the primary motivational force in humans is not pleasure or power, but the will to meaning, the inherent drive to discover and fulfill a purpose. Frankl's theory hinges on the idea that even in the face of extreme adversity, humans retain the capacity to find meaning. He observed that those who survived the concentration camps were not necessarily the physically strongest or the most cunning, but those who possessed a sense of purpose, a reason to live, despite their circumstances. This purpose could manifest in various forms: a commitment to their loved ones, a desire to survive to tell their story, a belief in a higher power, or a simple determination to endure. The absence of this will to meaning, Frankl argued, was often a predictor of despair and surrender. A compelling example can be found in Frankl's own experiences. In Auschwitz, he found meaning in offering psychological support to his fellow prisoners, helping them to maintain hope in the face of despair. He saw this as a way to contribute positively to their lives, a purpose that transcended the brutal reality of his surroundings. This act of service provided him with a sense of dignity and purpose, bolstering his own resilience and helping him to endure the unimaginable suffering he experienced. His actions weren't solely about self-preservation. They were motivated by a deeply ingrained need to find meaning in his horrific circumstances. Another powerful illustration lies in the stories of those who, despite facing debilitating illnesses or physical challenges, discovered meaning in their suffering. Many individuals facing terminal illnesses find purpose in connecting with others, sharing their experiences, or advocating for improved palliative care. The search for meaning becomes a way of confronting mortality, transforming an experience of profound loss into a source of strength and purpose. Their actions are testaments to the human capacity to find meaning even in the face of death. Their experiences underscore the idea that suffering is not merely an obstacle to overcome, but a potential source of growth and understanding, a crucible in which meaning can be forged. Logotherapy offers a framework for identifying and cultivating this sense of meaning. It involves a process of self-reflection, encouraging individuals to examine their values, beliefs, and aspirations. It helps them to identify their unique contributions to the world and to cultivate a sense of purpose aligned with their authentic selves. This process is not always easy. It may require confronting difficult emotions, challenging limiting beliefs, and engaging in actions that extend beyond the comfort zone. However, the journey of self-discovery inherent in this process is often profoundly rewarding, leading to increased self-awareness, a stronger sense of self-worth, and a deeper appreciation for the human experience. The application of logotherapy extends far beyond extreme situations. It offers a valuable framework for navigating the everyday challenges of life. In the face of setbacks, disappointments, and existential anxieties, the search for meaning can provide a compass, guiding us toward actions that align with our values and aspirations. It can provide a framework for resilience and coping, helping us to find strength and hope in the face of adversity. It's a process of constantly reevaluating our priorities and finding renewed purpose in our endeavors. Consider the individual facing career dissatisfaction. Logotherapy might prompt them to reflect on their skills, values, and passions, leading them to explore alternative career paths that are more fulfilling and aligned with their sense of purpose. Or consider the person grappling with a failed relationship. Logotherapy would encourage them to examine the lessons learned from the experience, to focus on personal growth and the development of stronger relationships in the future, rather than dwelling on the pain of the past. Frankl's work transcends the purely therapeutic. It offers a philosophical perspective on the human condition, suggesting that our search for meaning is intrinsic to our nature. We are not merely beings driven by instincts, but beings with a profound need to find purpose and significance in our lives. This inherent drive compels us to create, to connect, to contribute, and to strive for excellence. It's a continuous process of growth and evolution, where the discovery of meaning is not a final destination, but a journey of self-discovery and transformation. The implications of logotherapy extend into various aspects of life. It offers insights into the importance of cultivating meaningful relationships, engaging in creative endeavors, contributing to society, and maintaining a sense of purpose. These actions are not simply about personal fulfillment. They contribute to a broader sense of community and human connection. The search for meaning is not a solitary pursuit. It's a shared journey, where our connections with others enrich and amplify our individual searches. In conclusion, Viktor Frankl's logotherapy offers a powerful framework for understanding the human quest for meaning. It reveals the remarkable capacity of the human spirit to find purpose, even in the face of unimaginable suffering. It encourages us to take responsibility for creating our own meaning, to embrace the freedom to choose our path, and to find fulfillment in the ongoing journey of self-discovery. The search for meaning is not merely a therapeutic pursuit. It is a fundamental aspect of the human experience, a driving force that shapes our lives, our actions, and our understanding of our place in the world. It is in this active search, in this continuous striving for meaning and purpose, that we find the deepest expression of our humanity and build a life of resilience, authenticity, and enduring significance. The process demands introspection, courage, and a willingness to engage with the complexities of existence, but the potential rewards are richer, more fulfilling, and profoundly meaningful life are immense. The pursuit of meaning isn't a passive endeavor. It's an active, ongoing creation, a testament to the incredible resilience and creative potential inherent within the human spirit. The recognition of our mortality, as explored earlier, inevitably leads to a confrontation with existential anxiety. This isn't simply a fear of death. It's a deeper unease stemming from the realization of our freedom, our responsibility for creating meaning in a seemingly meaningless universe, and the stark awareness of our ultimate insignificance in the grand cosmic scheme. This anxiety isn't a pathological condition in itself. Rather, it's a fundamental aspect of the human condition, a consequence of our unique capacity for self-awareness and our ability to contemplate our... Existential anxiety arises from the inherent tension between our desire for meaning and purpose and the absence of any preordained meaning in the universe. Unlike animals, who are largely driven by instinct and immediate needs, humans possess the capacity for abstract thought, enabling us to question the purpose of our lives and our place in the world. This capacity for introspection, while a source of great creativity and innovation, also gives rise to the potential for profound existential angst. We are free to choose our paths, to create our own values and beliefs, but this freedom comes at a cost. The responsibility for shaping our own lives and the burden of creating meaning in a world that offers no inherent meaning. This freedom, while liberating, can also be paralyzing. The sheer number of choices available to us, the countless paths we could potentially take, can lead to feelings of overwhelm and indecision. This is further compounded by the awareness that our choices have consequences, that our actions shape not only our own lives, but also the lives of others. The weight of this responsibility, the knowledge that we are accountable for our choices, can be a significant source of existential anxiety. This isn't about making bad choices. It's about the profound responsibility inherent in making any choice, knowing that our actions contribute to the tapestry of our existence and the world around us. The lack of inherent meaning in the universe further exacerbates this anxiety. Unlike religious frameworks that offer predefined meaning and purpose, a secular worldview often leaves individuals grappling with the realization that there is no preordained destiny or cosmic plan. This can be unsettling, leading to feelings of isolation, insignificance, and a sense of purposelessness. The universe, from this perspective, appears indifferent to our existence, a vast and indifferent expanse in which our lives are fleeting and ultimately meaningless unless we actively create meaning for ourselves. The manifestations of existential anxiety are diverse and can vary greatly from person to person. Some individuals might experience it as a pervasive sense of unease or dread, a nagging feeling that something is fundamentally wrong or missing in their lives. Others might express it through feelings of isolation, loneliness, or a sense of disconnect from the world around them. Still others might manifest their anxiety through reckless behavior, compulsive pursuits, or an avoidance of introspection and self-reflection. These are not necessarily conscious choices, but rather expressions of the underlying existential anxiety working itself out through behavioral patterns. For example, a person struggling with existential anxiety might develop a compulsive need for external validation, constantly seeking approval and recognition from others. This behavior could stem from a deep-seated insecurity and a fear of insignificance, an attempt to fill the void of meaning through external sources of affirmation. Conversely, another individual might become rigidly adherent to a particular belief system, seeking solace and a sense of purpose within a strict moral or religious framework. This could represent an attempt to impose order and structure on a seemingly chaotic and meaningless world. Existential anxiety can also manifest in physical symptoms, such as chronic stress, anxiety disorders, and even psychosomatic illnesses. The constant tension and pressure of grappling with existential questions can take a significant toll on mental and physical health. Insomnia, digestive problems, and other stress-related ailments can become prominent features of someone struggling to reconcile their awareness of their mortality and the seemingly meaningless nature of existence. Furthermore, the impact of existential anxiety on behavior is multifaceted. It can lead to both self-destructive and self-enhancing behaviors, depending on the individual's coping mechanisms and worldview. Some individuals might turn to substance abuse, excessive consumption, or risk-taking behaviors as a means of escaping the discomfort of confronting existential questions. Others, conversely, might use the awareness of their mortality as a catalyst for personal growth, embracing self-reflection, creative pursuits, and meaningful relationships. The path taken depends heavily on individual resilience, coping strategies, and the availability of supportive social networks. The impact on psychological well-being is undeniably significant. Prolonged exposure to existential anxiety can lead to depression, anxiety disorders, and a diminished sense of purpose and meaning in life. However, it's crucial to remember that experiencing existential anxiety isn't inherently negative. Indeed, it can be a catalyst for personal growth and transformation, prompting individuals to examine their values, beliefs, and priorities, leading them to live more authentic and fulfilling lives. The key lies in developing healthy coping mechanisms and finding ways to constructively engage with these profound questions. This might involve engaging in activities that provide a sense of meaning and purpose, such as volunteering, creative pursuits, or contributing to a cause greater than oneself. It might also involve cultivating meaningful relationships, seeking support from friends, family, or therapists, and engaging in self-reflection and introspection. The process of confronting existential anxiety is not about eliminating it entirely, a task that is ultimately impossible, but about developing the resilience and coping skills necessary to navigate these complex emotions. The exploration of existential anxiety is not simply an academic exercise. It's a critical step in understanding the human condition and its complexities. By acknowledging the inevitability of death and the inherent tension between freedom and responsibility, we can better understand the sources of our anxieties and develop strategies for navigating the challenges and uncertainties of life. This understanding isn't about finding easy answers or simplistic solutions. It's about embracing the ambiguity and paradox of existence and finding meaning in the ongoing journey of self-discovery and growth. A crucial element in managing existential anxiety is acknowledging the role of social structures and cultural narratives in shaping our experience of it. Societal norms, religious beliefs, and cultural values influence how we interpret our mortality and our place in the world. Some cultures emphasize collective identity and interconnectedness, providing a sense of belonging and purpose that can mitigate existential anxieties. Others emphasize individual achievement and success, placing greater emphasis on personal accomplishments and potentially exacerbating anxieties about legacy and meaning. Furthermore, the societal context itself plays a considerable role. Times of war, societal upheaval, or widespread economic hardship can heighten feelings of insecurity and vulnerability, making existential anxieties more pronounced. Periods of peace and stability, conversely, might allow individuals to focus on personal growth and meaning-making, potentially diminishing the overwhelming nature of existential concerns. Understanding these contextual factors is essential in addressing existential anxiety, both on an individual and societal level. The social support system available to an individual significantly impacts their ability to manage existential anxiety. Strong social connections, supportive relationships, and a sense of belonging can provide a buffer against the isolating effects of grappling with profound existential questions. Conversely, a lack of social support can amplify feelings of isolation and helplessness, making the anxieties more difficult to manage. This underscores the importance of fostering strong social bonds and cultivating a sense of community. Finally, the role of therapy and self-reflection in mitigating existential anxiety cannot be overstated. Therapy can provide a safe and supportive environment for exploring these difficult emotions, developing healthy coping mechanisms, and finding meaning and purpose in life. Self-reflection, introspection, and mindfulness practices can also be invaluable tools in managing existential anxiety, allowing individuals to gain a deeper understanding of their values, beliefs, and priorities, thereby creating a more intentional and meaningful life. The journey of confronting existential anxiety is a personal one, but it's a journey that doesn't need to be undertaken alone. The support of others, the cultivation of self-awareness, and the development of effective coping strategies are crucial elements in navigating the complexities of existence and finding meaning in a world that doesn't inherently provide it. It is through this ongoing exploration, this constant engagement with the profound questions of existence, that we build resilience, cultivate deeper understanding, and create lives rich in purpose and meaning. The preceding discussion has highlighted the pervasive nature of existential anxiety, arising from our awareness of mortality and the lack of inherent meaning in the universe. However, the recognition of this anxiety is not the endpoint. Rather, it serves as a crucial starting point for a journey towards a more meaningful and fulfilling existence. While the universe may not offer preordained meaning, we possess the unique capacity to create our own, to imbue our lives with purpose and direction. This capacity is not merely a philosophical abstraction. It is a tangible skill that can be cultivated and honed through conscious effort and deliberate practice. The cultivation of a sense of purpose is not a passive process. It requires active engagement, self-reflection, and a willingness to experiment with different approaches. One of the most effective strategies for fostering a sense of purpose is the art of goal setting. This involves identifying long-term aspirations and breaking them down into smaller, manageable steps. This process is not about adhering to rigid plans, but rather about creating a framework for progress and a sense of direction. The goals themselves should align with one's values and aspirations, reflecting what is truly meaningful and important. For instance, an individual passionate about environmental conservation might set goals related to reducing their carbon footprint, volunteering for environmental organizations, or advocating for sustainable policies. Someone driven by a desire to improve the lives of others might set goals related to volunteering at a local charity, mentoring young people, or pursuing a career in social work. The specificity of these goals is less important than their alignment with deeply held values. The process of goal setting is inherently iterative and requires ongoing refinement. As we progress, our values and priorities may shift, necessitating adjustments to our goals. This flexibility is essential. Rigidity can lead to frustration and a sense of failure when unexpected challenges arise. The key is to focus on the journey itself, on the process of striving towards something meaningful, rather than solely on the attainment of the final goal. Regular reflection on our progress, identifying obstacles, and adapting our strategies are integral components of this process. A successful goal-setting framework incorporates both short-term and long-term objectives, providing a balanced approach that fosters both immediate gratification and long-term fulfillment. Short-term goals offer achievable milestones, providing a sense of accomplishment and motivation to continue the journey. Long-term goals, on the other hand, provide a sense of direction and purpose, anchoring our efforts in a large. Beyond goal setting, mindfulness plays a crucial role in cultivating a sense of purpose. Mindfulness, in its essence, is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. This involves cultivating awareness of our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without getting carried away by them. By grounding ourselves in the present, we become more attuned to our values and priorities, enabling us to make choices that align with our deepest selves. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation or deep breathing exercises, can help to quiet the mental chatter that often obscures our sense of purpose. These practices foster a sense of calm and clarity, allowing us to connect with our inner wisdom and make conscious choices that contribute to a meaningful life. The benefits extend beyond simply reducing stress. Mindfulness cultivates self-awareness, enabling us to identify our values and the actions that align with them. Engaging in activities that resonate with our values is another crucial strategy. These activities might include volunteering for a cause we care about, pursuing creative endeavors, spending time in nature, or engaging in acts of kindness. The key is to identify activities that bring us joy, fulfillment, and a sense of connection to something larger than ourselves. These activities don't necessarily need to be grand gestures. Even small acts of service or creative expressions can contribute significantly to a sense of purpose. For instance, volunteering at a local animal shelter, painting a picture, playing music, or simply spending quality time with loved ones can all contribute to a richer and more meaningful life. The focus should be on activities that align with our intrinsic motivations, bringing a sense of joy and fulfillment independent of external rewards or recognition. Finding mentors or role models who have successfully navigated existential crises and found purpose in their lives can provide invaluable guidance and inspiration. Learning from their experiences, their struggles, and their triumphs can illuminate pathways towards a more meaningful existence. This doesn't necessarily involve formal mentorship programs. It can simply involve seeking out individuals whose lives resonate with our values and aspirations, learning from their journeys, and seeking their advice when facing challenges. Observing their resilience, their commitment to their values, and their capacity to overcome obstacles can provide a powerful source of motivation and hope. Furthermore, engaging in meaningful relationships plays a vital role in cultivating a sense of purpose. Strong social connections provide a sense of belonging, support, and shared purpose. Investing in relationships with family, friends, and community members can significantly enhance our sense of meaning and belonging in the world. These relationships offer opportunities for mutual support, shared experiences, and a sense of collective identity, mitigating the isolating effects of existential anxiety. The reciprocal nature of these relationships provides a framework for giving and receiving, fostering a sense of interconnectedness and mutual purpose. Finally, the pursuit of knowledge and understanding, be it through formal education or lifelong learning, can provide a profound sense of purpose. Engaging with new ideas, exploring different perspectives, and expanding our understanding of the world around us can foster a sense of intellectual curiosity and a deeper appreciation for the complexities of life. This ongoing intellectual exploration can serve as a powerful antidote to the anxieties that arise from a sense of meaninglessness, fostering a sense of wonder, awe, and a continuous quest for knowledge. This can manifest in countless ways, from pursuing a degree in a subject of passion to engaging in online courses, reading widely, or attending lectures and workshops. The crucial element is the ongoing process of learning and expanding one's horizons. The path to cultivating a sense of purpose is deeply personal and unique to each individual. There is no single right way, no prescribed formula for finding meaning in life. The process involves self-reflection, experimentation, and a willingness to embrace the journey itself. It's a dynamic and evolving process, requiring ongoing adaptation and refinement as we grow and change throughout our lives. However, by embracing these strategies, setting meaningful goals, cultivating mindfulness, engaging in valued activities, seeking inspiration from others, building strong relationships, and pursuing knowledge, we can significantly enhance our sense of purpose and navigate the complexities of existence with greater resilience and fulfillment. The journey is often challenging, but the rewards, a life imbued with meaning, purpose, and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world, are immeasurable. The sense of purpose, therefore, is not a destination to be reached, but a journey to be continuously cultivated and nurtured throughout our lives. It is through this ongoing process of self-discovery, continuous learning, and meaningful engagement with the world that we truly find our place and create a life worthy of our unique existence.